Construction Week has followed Diriyah Gate's progress for quite some time since its establishment. The latest update from Diriyah Gate was that you're working on the subsurface structure for your car bays, buses, metros. Could you tell me how this is progressing? What's the latest update on this?
Yeah, it's progressing so well that you have to hold your breath a little bit because, as I mentioned earlier, Jonathan and his team are excavating over 6 million cubic meters of soil because we have to, in the historic city of Diriyah, it's in the classical Najda architecture, which is Central Arabian architecture. It's in the mud architectural style. But the Crown Prince vision of historical Diriyah in the middle of its city is to be like what Saudi was 200-300 years ago. So he doesn't see Diriyah with the kinetic energy of something like Cairo. He sees it more walkable, overlooking the beautiful Wadi. He sees it more like Florence or Siena or Marrakesh. In order to do that, you have to build a whole city underneath the city. So we're building 2 cities at one time, a whole sustainable infrastructural modern city below, including 40,000 parking spots, and then the old city of Diriyah above. So to do both of those at the same time, but we're on time, we're on budget, and we're doing very well on that.
Excellent stuff. And I want to move on to the subsidiary that you recently launched, which was Diriyah Development Company, or otherwise known as DevCo.
Right.
Tell me the strategy behind this decision of a new company structure. How does this help with the growth of the Diriyah Gate project?
Yeah. When you are planning something in concept, you need a great team, but the team is very centralized. So you can plan great urbanization and conceptual master plans and detailed master plans. We're really a staff of a few hundred people. But when you start building kilometers of work and you start going to tens of thousands of people, you need a whole enterprise in which to do that. And that means that now you're attracting the best and brightest. Now, Saudi Arabia is lucky because the country has abundant engineers and the country is a fabulous builder, right? But we're doing a lot in the kingdom. So architecturally, engineering, civil engineering, all kinds of trades. So the intention of the DevCo is to put together an aircraft carrier structure that can accelerate and attract the best and brightest people from around the world to get this thing built in the period of time that the Crown Prince wants. So if Singapore, one of the great tourism cities of the world, took 50 years to conceptualize and build, you look at Dubai, you look at the Emirates, you look at the great visionaries here, look at what they've accomplished in 30 years. The Crown Prince wants to accomplish that in 15. So you need a full institutional enterprise system to set that up, and that's what the intention of the DevCo is. And there'll be other DevCos in DGDA, but obviously the principal one now is the design and development one.
Mm. And there was an interesting comment from Jonathan Timms, who's now going to be the president of DevCo,
right.
From a press announcement that I saw. So he said that we are honoured to have been tasked by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman with an ambitious new master plan of more than 5 million square metres of gross floor area, which is more than 4 times the size of Diriyah Gate. What can you share about this new master plan that he's mentioned there? What are some of the features that the visitors should be kind of excited about?
Yeah, this is a very exciting thing to talk about because nothing in the world has ever been done that's this ambitious and on this timetable. But the Crown Prince is, when you see vision, it's extraordinary to sit with him because he will make you study certain things. And we take that very seriously with the best and brightest minds from around the world. So we study things, and always we go back to him and say, Your Royal Highness, we have studied your instruction. Here's 3 interpretations of that study. There's option 1, option 2, and option 3. And he studies them in microscopic detail. But then what happens is he says, I like that. Go down this path and further explore it. But then he'll see something we didn't see. And he'll say, oh, add that to this. Because that will add critical mass or bring energy. Like, for instance, when the master plan first started, Diriyah didn't really have residences. It didn't have the universities. It didn't have a place where people could work. It was a great cultural, historical city. But it lacked urban energy on a 24-hour basis. So we didn't want it to be like a park that would open during the day and close during the night. So when the Crown Prince saw that it lacked urban energy, no, add the residences, 6,000 residents. No, add King Salman University. This would be a place where people live, study, work, visit, recreate, enjoy, hotels, restaurants, souks. So it started growing. But the growing was not growth for growth's sake. It was components that added to it. So now he's added principal measures of entertainment, new performance venues, opera houses, contemporary art museums, different things, which connect to new universities and existing universities, which allow the urbanization of how traffic moves. So we've done very complex studies on tunneling, on over bridging, to move millions of people into where Riyadh is going. Now, the other thing is that Riyadh, previous to the last 5 years, didn't really have a master plan. It had growth, but not in a way of what is going to make this one of the 10 great cities of the world. The Crown Prince has that plan in place now. So now he's taking components and adding to it. And what's happened is, because we have the credibility of process with him, and because we're on time in our budget, he's been adding with confidence because he sees that we can get it done. And when we have the board meeting on June 18th, we're going to get clarification on that new area, that phase 2, if you will, which is going to be very dynamic, because we never thought, if you know the Crown Prince and know how much he loves and know how much the king loves Diriyah, we never thought it was going to be one phase. We never thought. It's going to evolve as the city evolves. And now that he's doubled down on the vision of the city to make it one of the 10 great cities of the world, Diriyah is going to be the soul of that.
And final question from me, Jerry. You've been in the hospitality industry for a very long time. You're in charge of arguably one of the kind of biggest projects, arguably in the world. Tell me, what is the secret to your success, and what would be the best bit of advice for anyone looking to kind of step into a role of a CEO of a big construction company?
Yeah, it's actually simpler than you think. If you ask the great Isidore Sharp, who is the founder and chairman of Four Seasons Hotels, 110 hotels, when I joined them as a general manager in 1980, we had 11 hotels. If you say to him, what is the success of Four Seasons? He'd say the golden rule, treat people. So here's what I would say. If you serve with all your heart, you don't have to worry about the outcome. That will come. Money, recognition, promotion, that will come. But you have to be good to your word. You have to have the work ethic, and you have to believe. You have to dream. There were many people in my career. I have vivid memories of a boy of 13, 14, of people snapping their fingers and calling me boy, and when I was a busboy, like I was meaningless. And that served as motivation for me, because I would say, who you snapping your fingers at? Yeah. You wait and see what I accomplish. But I never had to worry about that, because I always loved what I did. So the advice is, dream big, believe in yourself, be good to your word, treat people with kindness, respect, and dignity. Everything else falls into place automatically.
Very good advice there. Thank you very much, Jerry. I think what you're doing at Diriyah Gate is phenomenal, and I think it's going to be a game changer for Saudi Arabia's tourism.
Well, we can't wait to welcome you. We thank you. Congratulations on the great job you're doing. we're looking forward to having, when we make further announcements after June, Jonathan to sit down with you in greater detail and give you much more specifics that your readers will enjoy seeing.
Thank you very much.
Great.